I played the wrong video, but we're gonna play the other one. Get ready! Alright! Right video was played this time. Internet, welcome. We're back with Playconomy. I'm Ryan Rex, joined as always by the illustrious Vacatron. Thank you for joining again, Becca. Today we are joined by Wizz. Very excited to dig into the news, stir up some proverbial shit, and just get right into it. Is the idea. Wizz, as far as I understand, you are heavily involved, if not the involved, of MetaGoons. So I'd love to introduce the Blockworks audience to MetaGoons, what y'all are doing real quick before we just dive right in.
Yeah, thank you for that. I appreciate that, Ryan.
Of course.
Thank you, Becca, for having me. And yeah, I'm one of the founders of MetaGoons, a next generation gaming organization, and we specialize in accelerating Web3 games.
Ooh.
And also content. Nobody can compare to our content in the industry, and I think a lot of people are starting to notice that. So, yeah.
That's funny because you're sitting across the microphone / the internet screen with two content producers right here saying that yours is better than ours. We'll see how that goes.
Okay.
But yeah, so thanks for jumping in. Real quick, some quick housekeeping notes. I made a deal with the devil named Miguel, who handles all the social media at Blockworks. So he retweeted the Playconomy tweet that I just put out. So this is my shout out to the Digital Asset Summit being put on by Blockworks just about 1 month away as I look at my watch that doesn't exist in my hand. Bringing in the top institutions from around the globe and around the States, talking about all things regulation, DeFi, institutions. It's going to be happening in New York City, the Big Apple, I hear they refer to it sometimes as. And it's going to be fun. I suggest checking out the blockworks.com website. More information about it there, but we got some cool speakers. I'm looking at
Who's the highlight?
Pulling it up right now to talk through some speakers. It's an all-star crew. What can I say?
Serving concessions.
He's focusing more on Bitcoin now, so he has more time for everything. No longer the CEOs of MicroStrategy. But here, let me share. I'll start the screen share early. Miguel, you better love me right now for how much I'm doing this. Granted, I do work for Blockworks, and when I'm not moonlighting as Playconomy host, I actually sell Blockworks sponsorships for this event, so it's kind of self-serving at the end of the day. But we got Mark Yusko from Morgan Creek, Daniel DiMartino Booth, absolute powerhouse, Jurian Timmer, Fidelity Investments. I mean, who can say no to Amy Wu from FTX? It is a really star-studded, especially for the institutional investors. So if you're interested in learning about institutions and their money and getting that money into crypto, this is the place to be. So that is the first housekeeping thing. The second housekeeping thing, you'll notice we Oh, here. Let me add this to the stream. There we go. That's what I'm trying to show off here. Some pretty faces, some nice faces, some good bone structure. I see some good jaw lines out there, some high cheekbones. We got it all for you. Get yourself some tickets, get yourself a fun time, and get yourself a hotel in New York City. You'll enjoy it. Cool. So the other housekeeping note, you will notice we are on Twitch, which you can tell how much homework I did from last week. I logged on about now 15 minutes ago to try and do a live stream on YouTube, and they said you're on a 24-hour hold. Apparently they don't trust us.
Background check.
I know. They gotta reach out to the FBI and figure it out. Yeah, so we're on Twitch for one more week. Next week, I swear.
Not swear.
Nah, we'll be on YouTube.
What was that?
I don't know. I'm all the Holy Mother and the shareable ghost, right? Those are the lines that you say. But yeah, I think that's all the housekeeping, unless, Becca, you have anything that you're doing or fun things. Oh, I remember one more thing. Next week as well, check out Placonomy, of course, first, but if your second priority is talking about the backbone to financial assets, I am doing a webinar with Fireblocks, Animoca Brands, and maybe Immutable. Next week, talking about game development, game infrastructure, things of that nature. It'll be pretty fun.
That's so relevant.
Yes, it's kind of like it's the exact audience that we're talking to here. Would be very interested.
Who from Animoca?
Robbie is going to be hopping on.
Robbie.
So it'll be cool.
He spoke at NFT NYC when I was moderating.
It'll be fun.
Or not moderating, I was emceeing.
Ooh, MC. You got to get that crowd hype.
Well, shameless plug for me then. I'm
yes.
at the NYC London. If anyone wants to submit for the gaming track.
Hey.
I'm going to be helping as a unofficial or maybe official chairperson with their team.
So when is that happening?
Slide into the DMs. November 3rd to 4th in London.
See?
Piccadilly Square.
Housekeeping is very important sometimes. Not only does it keep a ship-shape house like the one you see right behind me here.
I want to pull up. I want to pull up to London.
Yeah, do it.
Yeah,
done and done.
Well, yeah, I got to talk to you about that actually. I was talking to them about it, so stay tuned.
Cool. All right.
This is where deals happen on live stream.
Live for the internet to see, fully recorded, so that everyone can dig through every single word that you say. Yes. Well, cool. I guess today what we wanted to kind of talk about, just some cool things that we're hearing, murmurs, whispers, what have you. I don't know, putting you on the spot here right out the gate, Wizz. Anything that you're hearing, anything that's fun, anything new, anything that's exciting, worth digging into?
Yeah, I think probably the most exciting, or one of the most exciting games, in my opinion, right now is Treeverse.
Okay.
Treeverse. We talked about them last time.
We talked about it last time. Give us the we have a very tertiary understanding. Give us the scope on Treeverse.
You are about to get me started. So
all right.
This game is for usually people in Web3, right, or in on-chain gaming, they play WoW, League of Legends, RuneScape. They're super OG gamers at heart, you know. Yeah. Some like myself may even consider themselves professional gamers at heart. But Treeverse reminds everyone in the industry that I know that I value their opinion. So also VCs as well. A lot of gaming VCs. It reminds them of RuneScape. As far as like the way the boss battles, the soundtrack. If you listen to the soundtrack, it'll put your mind at peace. And it's very nostalgic, and I think it makes everyone feel excited and happy for the trailers that they release. And also Loopify has done a great job as far as communicating and being fully transparent to not just his community, but the industry as a whole. So very, very bullish on Treeverse, and I think this one will be around for the long term. But as far as beef, I think there's a lot of beef going on right now in the markets.
Okay.
Wait. I have a question.
Yeah, let's dig into Treeverse a little bit.
First, do you hold any of their NFTs? And do you plan to? Yeah, you're a holder?
I am a holder.
Plots, NFTs, timeless. There's a whole host of ways that you can get involved from these collections.
All three.
Oh, you're a committed man. Ah,
Yeah.
man.
This
This is.
is
Have
very
you actually gotten to
serious.
play some gameplay at all, or
No,
not
not.
yet?
I
Okay.
mean, the only thing that I really played was when the game originally came out. By the
Mhm.
way, I believe the plots were, was it 0.01 ETH or zero point 0.1? I think it was maybe zero point 0.1 ETH
Okay.
when it first came out. But the graphics looked totally different. And they had some playable version where you could just walk around, like when it first came out, and not really interact with other people, but store your NFTs and see like what the game could look like in the future, or possibly could look like in the future. And now, like this version that they released to the public is a completely different um,
Interesting.
So is everyone
game
freaking out
aesthetic
right now?
wise.
Everyone is like, Treeverse is it.
Yeah.
This
The
is
ones that know, the ones that know. No, this is a total sleeper. I think this is the sleeper in
Sleeper.
the industry. I
Good
think
to know.
everyone is still like, if you're retail, like if you're newer to this cycle, you're probably going to be looking at OtherSide and everything that's happening with Board 8. Yacht.
Mm.
But if you're really tapped in, you know about Treeverse.
So this is some genuine alpha getting released today on Play Economy. This is the sleeper of the run. I'm excited about it. I will dig in a lot more than I already have. By the way, Beccatron, Gaming God, Kev Crudy 21, big fan. You're amazing. Thank you. I will take the credit for that one. But
Thanks, guys.
yeah,
Becca's got a crush.
I know already.
My one fan, my only
Yes,
fan.
one fan.
That's
I got my
okay.
mom's in the other room, which is why she's not logged on, saying that she loves me on the chat right now. So
Well, maybe
yeah.
she should be.
She's gotta watch my babies.
I know exactly.
Yeah.
Wiz, I gotta ask you about OtherSide because we saw some interesting gameplay from some of their tests where they were kind of testing the spatial audio and like the multiplayer. And I'm curious, you say that's kind of the one everyone's looking at if you're not in the know. Like, what's your thought on them? Your honest opinion, being so kind of deep in the space.
I honestly think that the studio that they're using to help them develop the metaverse or game, if you will, is showing the public that it knows how to, like, this company knows how to scale. As far as like a AAA rated game that everyone is kind of looking for as the first in the industry, I don't know if this is going to be it. But as far as like an open world lounge, IMVU, maybe even some elements of GTA, I think it could work. I think it could work. They definitely have the capital.
Yeah, they have a few bucks in the bank somewhere to kind of powerhouse whatever they want to do here.
But in your mind, you don't think money, just throwing money necessarily at a game or an experience or a metaverse or whatever you want to call it, is gonna be the thing. Like, it's got to be made by gamers for gamers who really understand. Because I don't really know much about the OtherSide team. Like, I don't know them personally. I don't know really any of their back history. I mean, Improbable, I know one of the guys that I work with, has worked with them previously and says they're fantastic. So I'm kind of curious, just again with your chatter, like, are they authentic gamers? Or are they kind of in it for the metaverse gold rush?
I think it may be a mix of both. I think they have the money to afford people that are gamers, like hardcore gamers, to help them with this. But I also think it's a lot of VC money, So
VC money.
That VC money. Yeah, I mean, there's an element. Yeah, there's an element too that, like, if you think about some of like the biggest quote unquote blockbusters, there's one of my friends was telling me there's this like formula. If you like get 2 or 3 big enough names into the movie, and then you have a script that deals in some sort of fantasy or like sci-fi or something, and then even if the movie is just absolute shite, it still sees big box office returns. And I wonder if, with the OtherSide, even if the game is crap, the marketing that goes into this that they've been building for so long, I wonder if they still have just big returns for that VC money. Like, I hope for the best. Don't get me wrong. I would love, like, the artwork and some of the land here is like really, really cool, but I don't know.
Well, you make a good point, Ryan. Although, sorry, DJ, not to interrupt you, but like you make an interesting point about this, the kind of box office movie Hollywood model, is that like, sure, if you made OtherSide an attraction and basically everyone who wanted to go in had to pay, $10 or like $15 or whatever it is to explore it, they would probably make like quite a big return. The problem with gaming though is that it needs to constantly evolve. So like you need constant money coming in and new features so that people stay, right? And so I think that's like the hard part about gaming as like the new form of media, which I truly believe is the future. Ryan, you and I have talked about this.
Yes,
Interactive movies, that should be the thing, and gaming is kind of is a hybrid, or can be a hybrid for that. But it's like, if you don't make something sticky and people are like, this sucks, then you're effed. It's bad. Anyways, what were you gonna say, Wiz?
Oh, I was just gonna say, I hope that answered your question. I hope I answered your question, to be honest.
No.
It's all right. We'll figure it out on the fly. So some other news that came up that actually just got talked about I think the news just got released like just about an hour ago. Jadoo, I think that's how you pronounce this name. They just partnered with Michael Bay. Bam, bam, robots everywhere. And I know, right? Robots, Hollywood. Michael Bay, Hollywood, explosions, marketing for movies that are really good box office hits that aren't necessarily the greatest fandom in the world that I will ever watch. Love the first Transformers. Sold me on the Transformers. And then I've watched every Transformer since and just continuously.
So let's get into it. So Transformers was trash after Megan Fox left.
100%. I'm actually sitting right next to the Udvar Hazy Center, which is the Smithsonian for the Air and Space Museum, which is where they filmed part of one of the films with the really old spaceship that like jumped up and came to life. That was filmed like right down the street. Apparently my friend was working there at the time. Megan Fox was a lovely individual. She like went in, he did the VR ride for her while she was there. Apparently she was absolutely a saint of a human being to interact with, which is not something that you would expect from a Megan Fox in the world, especially with everything.
Shout out Megan Fox.
I know. If you want to come on, play Economy, Megan Fox.
Thanks for you.
Yeah. But yeah, so they are partnering on, and let me pull up the Jadoo. Someone's got to tell me how to actually pronounce that. Mirrorverse is what they call it. But they are doing augmented reality, which I think is really, really cool. And from what I understand, what I've been reading is that your NFTs will then be playable characters in this augmented reality world. And some of the top tier, like the legendary tier, rarity trait, Vivo? I don't remember the name of the AVAs, will be designed by Michael Bay himself. But they are also, look at that monkey, or excuse me, rabbit flying around. Yeah, there will be like, he's like helping with the narrative and stuff for this game. And I don't know, I think it's just really, really cool that we get to start doing some Ready Player One stuff, IRL.
Because AR looks pretty trash though. Oh, that's kind of cool.
Yeah. I mean, it definitely like is nascent.
I feel like we're past this in AR, but
yeah.
Maybe I'm wrong.
Maybe it's syncing it up with the MetaMask wallet that's keeping the tech so low profile. I don't know.
Okay, so wait, you can import, if you can automatically import your 2D NFTs or 3D NFTs, then that's impressive.
Like if they just that would be cool. Any NFT that you have or whatever.
I have
real question though. When do you think we'll be able to put lenses in, contact lenses, that will allow us to see all of this?
You saw Mojo Vision got, I think it was last year, they got the, I forget what the approval is called, to like move forward with tests, which is like a great sign, but it still means it's probably 5 to 10 years away. But still, I mean, it's already been 2 years since the start of COVID. So that's like,
if they're doing nothing other than creating contact lenses that give me augmented reality vision, I don't know what they were doing with their time locked away during COVID. I know.
Can you imagine? I mean, if it takes 5 to 10 years to do that, I know people that it's taken 7 years to build their homes, It's like you're talking, you can do like AR contact lenses faster than building a house. Like,
Come on, yeah. No, I think what's really cool about this is the fact that Michael Bay is what he is, right? We all recognize his. I think his director.
He's a nice guy. Honestly, I know him from Miami, and he's very lovely. Yes.
Right. I'm sure. Just it's a team. The Transformers team sounds like a bunch of lovely individuals. I would love to also meet Shia LaBeouf and just round out the trifecta there.
No, I need Shia LaBeouf. I want Shia LaBeouf on. Because I think he's a great content creator.
Yes.
Bring Shia LaBeouf back.
Right, agreed. So round out that nice individual. But what's cool is like that label of validation, I think, or like this gives credence for more of that VC money, but also just people in general to like take bets on these types of NFT oriented things to push this whole technology stack forward, I think, in big ways, where people feel more comfortable if they want to build a movie in AR or, jump on this kind of NFT train just in general that people are jumping on. But it lends such a level of credibility that now I think a lot of people that were either sitting on the fence or they were waiting on money to come in for them to like get their idea off the ground and out of their head, this opens up that door so much more easily for those people to do so.
Well, this is a great segue for what I wanted to chat about in the beginning, is that I have friends that I respect tremendously that are in crypto or in technology or even in art, right, that are content creators. And, this happened to me yesterday. There was a conversation about kind of metaverse and something, and they were like, fuck the metaverse. They were like, this is not, it's so lame and whatever. I'm like, all right, well, let me unpack that. As someone who is a metaverse, I'm like, let's talk through this. Like, what specifically do you not like? I'm like, do you guys play Oculus? Do you play video games? They're like, well, I don't really play this. And I find it so refreshing when I get an Oculus on someone's head. An Oculus, any VR headset, it doesn't need to be that brand.
You love Facebook. We get it. All right. Get off your Facebook horse there, Becca.
But anyways, when I put people inside of an Oculus and we play an actually fun game, right? Like my favorite, as maybe everyone probably knows by now, is Elven Assassin. I love Elven Assassin. I literally will play hours of it. But it's just an archery game, right? Where you like shoot orcs with arrows. It's great. But it is so crazy to be in there, right? And you shoot dragons. Dragons are literally flying over your head. You shoot them, and then they just fall down dead in front of you, and you're just looking at them. It's a surreal experience. And so people tell me they don't like the metaverse, they don't like blah, 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 or NFTs. I'm like, listen, like you got to take a step back and actually try this stuff and try something fun before just poo-pooing on it. And so after that, they were like, oh yeah, like I got the Oculus. Yeah, I'll give you my login. Like let's create a party. Let's play some games. And then it becomes a whole different thing. They're like, this is amazing. And so, I think that there's just such a resistance because again, I really think Meta just really screwed things up because people just think
screwed the pooch. Yeah.
It's like, wow.
I know.
So anyways, that's my spiel.
No.
Next time you intro them to the Oculus, you have to put them on Walking Dead. Walking Dead in VR is actually so scary. Yeah.
So scary. But that's the thing. It's like that concept of presence is so cool. And I mean, I have always wanted to live in an anime fantasy world, and I'm just waiting for someone to make a really high definition 3D anime style world. Because walking around and seeing that stuff, being able to look like clothes, creatures. I mean, imagine Pokemon VR, which probably already exists. But AR is cool too, but the fidelity isn't there yet.
Yeah. No, I hear you. This, bringing up The Walking Dead, this brings up just a really good question that if you haven't asked any of your friends and you don't know the answer to this, you should really start planning. Zombie apocalypse. You see it on the news. What's the first thing you're doing?
Ooh.
Ammo.
Ammo. Where are you getting ammo?
We need ammo.
Yeah, where are you getting ammo right now? Have you planned it out? Do you know where the nearest ammo shop is?
I know. My friend in New York, Donna, I could give you, or in Jersey, he's got a whole weapon stock. I can give you the coordinates. We got it. We solved it right now.
Yeah. So my first stop is Costco, right down the street. I'm going in there, shutting all the doors. I'm not letting anyone open up anything, and I'm just chilling on peanut butter pretzels until either the world goes to shit and then I can take the boats that are out back and go riding in the Chesapeake Bay, Or
It's a good one.
because they have gigantic gates and there's no windows in Costco. Like, I've thought about this.
Ryan, I'd recommend you actually playing The Last of Us.
Yeah, no, oh my
So
god,
that
Last of Us is, oh, dude, it's so good. So good.
Becca,
I'm up on vegan
have you
food.
played this game?
I can't play anything scary, honestly.
Oh, no.
Who said vegan food? No vegan
Yeah. No, but it's because it's zombie repellent. They only eat meat, so the more it makes a lot of sense. MG Bullet, I get it.
Wow. I can't believe someone who's watching this thinks vegans are smart.
In this one instance, maybe. Who knows? It puts holes in your brain, so they're less appetizing brains for them to eat. That makes a lot more sense now. But yeah, it's something to think about for next time. What are you going to do in a zombie apocalypse?
That is, sorry not to keep
going. No, keep going.
But the VR thing is so crazy to me because it really is to me like dreaming. It's you just like being able to lucid dream in a game. And it's like you can literally use that for anything. Like, for example, I'm terrified of skiing and snowboarding. Like the concept of going down a mountain and centrifugal force freaks me out. And so if I can do a skiing simulation, right, where I feel like I'm going down a mountain, I feel like I'm going to be less scared.
Yeah. No, I hear you. Yeah, there you go. That's what they used to. That's what I saw. I remember this when I was like 12 years old. That's how they used to get people over fears. Is like of spiders. They would put them in like a VR simulation back in like 2012 or something like that. Yeah, this is. I remember watching this a long time ago. So my realm of this actually being true or not is diminishing by the number of years since I've probably seen this. So who knows what my memory has done to me before that or since then? But yeah. Wizz, I want to give you the opportunity to stir up some beef that's happening in the verse, the metaverse, the Twitterverse, the whatever. Where's the beef?
This is exactly what's happening, and this same thing happened in 2017.
Okay.
When the ICO craze happened and everyone got rich, and then they lost all of their money in 2018. Mm-hmm. So all of the NFT influencers, what's either going to happen is most of them are going to disappear as the market continues to get worse.
Yeah.
Or the SEC is going to come after them because they were shilling projects and taxes. Yes. And taxes.
I mean, that's not SEC, that would be IRS. But it's crazy. I mean, no one is paying, no one is like withholding for cap gains for like flipping NFTs.
No. I gotta say this now though. Farouk is no bueno, is no good. That's yeah.
Calling it out live for the internet.
Calling it out live, yeah.
All right. Why? Tell me why.
Well, his show is called Rug Radio, so I feel like maybe he's telling us things. I don't know. He's like, it was in plain sight. I was telling you guys the whole time.
I personally, he was very arrogant when I met him in person.
Yeah.
But also, I think he just shills on his community and he just profits off of everyone and doesn't really care about them. But that's just me putting this out there, stirring the pot, you know. I'm sure there's some more influencers that we can get into.
I mean, it sucks because that is like a lot of the influencer game, even for non-Web3 crypto-related influencers. They're like, don't you love this soap? I love this soap, right? And they're like just shilling it on other people, and they probably never use it. They use something else, but it's like this soap company gave them money. So it's just really sad that that's kind of embedded within our culture. But yeah, I mean, it shouldn't be the case to basically sell your shit to other people.
So that's the thing is like, I feel like shilling is, I'm going to put this out there right now. I will shill, if you come to give me some money, I will shill it. Not NFT projects where other people are losing money, but if you have money for a product of yours that I can help people buy or purchase, I will shill the shit out of anything. But it makes sense. Please let me shill your stuff. It makes so much more sense if you find stuff that is in line with, like, if we have a gaming company that comes on here and they're doing an NFT drop, right? Or if we have a gaming company that's like, they're selling actual physical CD compact disc ROMs for like Xbox or what have you, like, that it makes a lot of sense. It's when they're like, whoever's just coming out of the woodwork, hey, you have a following, can I get on and talk about it? That's when it goes a little different, where I will be a little bit more choosy. But if it's right in the line of what the content is anyway, like the only thing you're doing is putting stuff that they would probably be interested in anyway, just in the limelight.
Yes.
But again,
As
let me
long
show your
as
stuff.
As long as it's good. But wait, question, like not question, but comment on that rather.
Yeah.
So SiriusXM does a lot of work with one of the companies that I work with, and one of the guys was telling me there that on Bloomberg's channel on Sirius, someone was shilling an NFT project. It was like an African NFT project with like a live event in Ghana, and he said it was like the weirdest. He's like, I've never heard an NFT project being shilled on Bloomberg Radio on Sirius. And he was just like questioning so many things, like the legitimacy of the project, like what it was actually for. And it's like things like that that are so interesting, is like, what is Sirius XM's capability to even vet or due diligence projects, right? They probably look at it and they're like, well, they're on OpenSea, they must be legit, they've got a website, and like, call it a day. And like, those are the things that I think can be so scary, because like maybe it was vetted, I don't know, right? Like I didn't do my own due diligence, so like that.
We don't do due diligence here. We're Playconomy. We talk about video games.
No, I mean, I did look at the OpenSea page, but it was just like, from his retelling, he said it sounded very sus, and that maybe like, you know, they just came with a bag and they were like, Sirius, we want to advertise on your radio, and they were like, we'll take that bag, and you know, we've got an OpenSea, like, go for it. So it's kind of like, it's just like, at what point, like, who's the one to determine what's snake oil and what's legit? And it's hard to say, you know?
Yeah, I can tell. I got that grand.
He's got the Shieldar, or like the Rugdar.
The rug detector.
The rug detector. So the thing that really sucks about that is, probably for 98% of the audience that was listening to that was the first time that they've been like, that they've heard about an NFT project. Yeah. And like, that is their first introduction to NFTs, which sucks for like the industry as a whole, because now that's their anchor point for whatever else they interact with. I mean, I'm sure they've, if they like watch Jimmy Kimmel Live or Jimmy Fallon Live, you know, they've been introduced to the idea of Bored Apes or whatever. But still, like, actually hearing an advertisement or a shill for an NFT project, that's their what a first interaction, number one. And then number two, like, there's so many better options. Yeah, I know. That just makes me feel bad for all of those people.
Especially if they get greedy and they go all in.
I know.
There's so many stories about that.
I know.
Here, okay, so I found the Twitter.
Ooh, share that screen.
It says 97% sold out, so I don't know. Maybe
are we
also just for the record, to both of you.
Yes.
To start up some guild beef, Perion attempted to steal all of our branding, and they're still trash. Yeah.
Who's Perry?
Perion. I think it's an Australian guild.
Guild, Perion. How did they steal your branding? How does that happen?
We were supposed to. I don't want to get into it.
Oh, okay, all right. Just dropping the breadcrumbs and leaving it there.
I'm keeping this here for record, you know, so
a
year or two from now, people come back to this. I know I let it.
This is the new version of mailing yourself a letter, so you have a postage date stamp for any sort of royal anything like that to keep a record. I love it. All right.
But I guess it's flattery. That happened to me too when I was at XBTO. It's like we saw another company that had this same exact tagline, font, and then old coloring from the company, like their old color pattern. So sometimes you're like, is it intentional or is it accidental? I mean, it sounds like it was intentional.
They confirmed it though. They confirmed it. I'm serious.
Why would you put that out there?
I need to start dropping names.
It's up to you.
No. You told me to stir.
This is time to stir. Time to stir.
I mean, at least they were honest about it. They were like, we don't have creativity, so we just took from you.
Yeah.
And you should be flattered, I suppose.
Yeah.
But, I mean, it's so hard because, like, you know, you really, unless you've got obviously a logo mark that is trademarked, right? And a name that's trademarked, but like you can't, or a tagline that's trademarked, but like other than that, it's like so hard because someone can steal your exact colorway. And I don't think that, or actually, I think you can trademark colors too. I don't know.
Yeah.
I guess like blue. I don't know if anyone's gonna be able to like take that.
Well, the UPS owns brown, right? They just own the color brown, right? Like that's
I mean,
like
but it's gotta be like one color
that's
code.
it's a
Right?
very specific color code of brown, but they
Yeah.
they've
Yeah.
copyrighted that brown, which I think is wild.
That was crazy.
Yeah. Okay, so then the other thing that came up today that I thought was that just dropped that I thought was pretty interesting. Cross the Ages, a newly announced. I mean, it's probably been around for a little bit now, but Cross the Ages, a trading card game. The big announcement there is that they just partnered with Immutable X to launch on their layer 2 for all sorts of gas list fees and fun things and all the stuff that comes with being on a ZK Sync rollup layer 2, which I think is pretty cool. But the one thing I wanted to point out is when you land on the website, this is how they're advertising their game. 80 artists and over 170 people involved, more than a game.
Nice. I wonder if that's a dig at oh god, now I'm thinking Illuvium, because don't they have like 300 people on there working on their game?
Maybe. I don't know. But so Wiz, you're involved with a lot of games, right? In the sense of like getting things up and running, helping maybe with some investment, or like giving them some sort of a built-in player base. When you see a game like this come across your table, or like, what is it? Is it like a selling point to talk about how many artists you have? Or something like it just blows my mind that this is like the number one thing that they want the world to know.
No.
Okay. Very simple and straight to the point.
Why would people that really care about gaming?
But this is the problem, is that people confuse the fact that NFTs did well that were associated with an artist, which was true, right? Last year, like 2020, like end of 2020 to 2021, it was like if you partnered with a cool artist on an NFT, like it did reasonably well. And I think that people are just like confusing that as well. It's like, you know, if you've got featured artists that are of some notoriety that are doing some character design, it's cool, but I just don't think it's a key selling point for a gamer, because it's like, is the game fun?
It's
like
bull market fever though.
Yeah.
The same thing happens with the tokens. Like when people talk about them, like if they partner or the companies, if they partner up with, you know, somebody that's quite popular, then it drives price.
Yeah.
During this market, I don't think that this would do anything.
Like this is like a note to Cross the Ages. If they just removed that center part, everything that's happening in the background of this is like legit really cool. A ninja jumping around throwing ninja stars, like trading cards on a board. This person that's like throwing fireballs up in the air and lighting on fire. Like that's cool as shit as a gamer. Like I am so interested in that. But then it's like 80 artists.
But I get where they're going with this, is that a lot of the early collectibles were trading cards, or some of them, right? It was like Boss Logic doing trading card NFTs. And so this is kind of the instance of like, cool, you bought that trading card NFT, but there's no utility. But here it is. We're going to partner with Boss Logic on a collectible trading card NFT, but you can actually use it in a game. So like, and we've seen a lot of these, Ryan, like a lot of these kind of like card-based games that have artwork. And this is the first one I've seen with artists. So I guess they're trying to make that as their differentiator, but I just am not sure it's strong enough to really move the needle. But
it does seem like it's heavy lore. I was digging in, so they're coming out with like 7 novels, which is pretty cool. And you know me, as I'm a guy who digs into lore like nobody's business. So like I will say they're doing pretty good. I was thrown by it when I landed on the page. But this is like, you can already read season 1 and season 2. I'm actually going to download them because I'm about 3 chapters away from finishing the Expanse novella or novel series of 10 books. So I'm excited to dig into something new. Yeah, but you're right. We have seen a lot of there's a lot of names here.
Some good names.
There's some good names here. But yeah, we have seen a lot of trading card games. I mean, that falls back into, it's pretty easy to NFTize a trading card. So like from a Web3ifying a type of video game, that's a very straightforward process, I think. And I wonder if that gives them, like, if they can build out this kind of V1 of this world, and with the amount of lore that they're putting into it, I wonder if that gives them the ability to, where World of Warcraft built their metaverse first and then came out with Hearthstone after, if they can do it the other way around, build this trading card game, get people bought into the lore, and then build a metaverse off that with the proceeds from the game. I think that if they're... Not saying that should be your business model across the ages, but if you're thinking about that, kudos. way to be ahead of the curve on that one.
Ryan, quick question for you.
Yeah.
If you're going to download these books,
Yes.
would you prefer if there was an audiobook version? And same question for you, Wiz. Like, would you want to do like a podcast audio version, or you prefer to read the book?
That's a great question.
I personally like audiobooks.
Yeah, normally I like audiobooks, but in the last 3.5 years, that's roughly the date and time that my first son was born, my ability to not have kids' music playing in the car has severely diminished, which severely diminishes my ability to listen to anything in audio format. So I get about 5.5 minutes before I fall asleep reading books. So this last 3 chapters of The Expanse will probably take me about 2 months to finish. But right now I prefer reading just because that's the only way I can consume content outside of playing this 1 hour with you, playing video games during Playconomy. Again, the whole reason I made this show, or thought about this show in the first place, is just so I have a reason to play video games for an hour.
Ryan, you have such dad vibes. Are you like into your New Balances? Because you should definitely buy a pair of
Yeah, well, I mean, I got the white socks that come, halfway up, calf high. I got a little fanny pack that I wear in the front because wearing it on the back is too cool. I like to wear a whistle when I'm just out, just so I can whistle on the playground and let kids know that they're not doing things correctly. I got it on stacks. Don't worry. My dad gave me strong.
Brian, you also play the guitar? You got a guitar in the back?
That's actually my father's guitar in the background.
I have my father's guitar.
Hey, maybe we should start a dad band.
Will you play on stream? Will you play RuneScape on stream with me?
Yes. Anytime, anywhere. When?
Okay.
Yeah.
We'll go PK. I feel like that would be something that people would love. Dude. And show you the do's and don'ts of the wilderness.
Done. I'm in.
All right.
Yeah, sign me up.
That'll be the deep dive on MetaGoons when we grill you a little bit more on exactly what you're doing.
Yeah, when we're not talking about beef or things that are happening.
Distract you with RuneScape and then ask you really tough questions.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure.
It's a trap.
Yeah. So we've been talking now for 42 minutes. Any other things that you've seen up that have come up that are cool, interesting, fun? I just wanted to touch on a few to keep the audience of the 2 current watchers of this super up to date on what's happening in the GameFi ecosystem while they're paying attention to us on Twitch, which again will be on YouTube next week. Everyone just get ready. Any cool things, Wizz?
Actually, I have a question for you.
Yeah.
Since I'm really tapped into the industry, but I'm interested to know what you both think is missing in gaming. What has to happen for adoption to really take mass effect?
I know.
I'll let you go first, Beckatron.
Yeah, I mean, I just think really fun multiplayer games. Like, I just think having that is key. And even something, I mean, I haven't seen this actually. The only one we saw gameplay like this was Exaverse, which was remember they had the kind of like battle arena.
Potato head, yep.
Yeah, I just feel like the potato head. I just feel like one-on-one battling. Like, where's the Street Fighter, the Web3 Street Fighter, right? Or Tekken. Like, that's what I'm talking about. I just want to like play a couple matches, arcade style, like have the ability, have like the arcade mode, have the lore mode, right? Where I can like deep dive into it, but just something fun and quick. That's what I love about Elven Assassin. I go in, I like shoot some orcs and like try and protect my Elven village. And then when I'm ready to bounce out, I like bounce out. What's up?
And what's the Flying Falcon? How you doing?
We should have
the boys. On. Yes, you need to have Falcon on.
Great.
Falcon?
Yes.
What are you doing next Thursday, roughly this time?
Yeah, I think we have big time next week.
Big time next week. Big time next week. Everyone, make sure you're marking your calendars down. That one's going to be a fun one. Not that this isn't a fun one, Wiz.
Right, you got to answer my question.
I will. Yeah. So my, the building the fun games. I think that is table stakes for what brings in the next round of gamers. And by no means am I condoning online bullying, but the way that you get, like, that's a weird preface to what I'm about to say. I'm very aware of what I'm about to say. I just think about the games that have meant the most to me in my life, right? And they are the games where I had a sense of community between my friend group where I would go into school the next day, elementary school, middle school, high school, and I would either shit on the person who was sucking the night before or like get shit on because I was the one who wasn't carrying the load. I'm thinking like Dota back when it was on Warcraft 3, like it was a Warcraft 3 mod. StarCraft, doing like tower defenses in StarCraft. Like all of these games, like what Becca said, the competitive nature, but I don't think it's the competition as much that drives the massive adoption. It's the sense of community, either for or against. Like your best friends are with you in the trenches, brothers and sisters in arms that like unifies a friend group. And if that unified friend group is playing another unified friend group like across the world or wherever, like that's the mass adoption. And I've said this story before, but like I sat down I was teaching English in Thailand, sat down, and a bunch of these like not well off Thai children in like this tiny little Thai town where only like 50 people spoke English were playing Dota. Like that is the mass adoption, right? Is when you get that level of people crowding around a screen being like, ah, like because like cool plays are happening live. That's where we get. And it's through the tournaments. It's through that kind of stuff, but it's the community element that I think that it builds outside of just the gameplay itself that's when we get it.
Yeah,
I want to add.
agree with you.
Yeah.
I want to add to that too, because in many ways, I feel like Instagram and Facebook and any social platform, Snapchat is kind of like a game as well, right?
Yeah.
It's kind of different skins and players and features and functions and whatnot, but it's also a game. And so I think that games, to your point, have to reach that threshold of, it's like the chicken and the egg. It's like once there's like a critical mass of users, then it's like it increases exponentially because everyone wants to be where other people are. Yeah. So I think that's a huge kind of like, component of that.
So that's why, coming full circle, the other side element to this, where they have already mass appeal, even people are either for or against it very strongly one way or another, but that's what gets people in to check it out. And that's what drives a lot of it's like getting people staunchly in a community one way or another. I know, I feel the same way, 3, or 4 little angry robot faces.
Oh,
that's the goons. Some of the goons.
Oh, that's the goons. Goons.
Yeah. Kyle, what's up?
What up, goons?
What's up? But also, yeah, I agree with what you both said. I think that those were fantastic answers. But I also think that we're missing that gambling element. Like back in the day, people used to go to arcades and they used to have their quarter and wait in line to play Street Fighter, to play Mortal Kombat, to play Space Invaders. So it's like bringing that excitement where a crowd can, like you said, watch this person play. But if you lose, it's like, damn, I got to start all over again. And then also incorporating decaying items into the games, especially with rares. I
hear you. Yeah, I actually, not to plug Undead Blocks again, but we love them here. They're running a free-to-play tournament this weekend. Similar concept. It's like...
Have they been on here?
They've been on a couple months ago.
Grant is the man.
Yeah.
Grant is the man.
Absolutely love Grant. But they're running a tournament this weekend. And so it's that same element, like eventually the $2 entry fee, the $5 entry fee, and you're head-to-head, you and your squad, right? Your 4 players going up against a bunch of zombies, competing for the best time, for the best kill, the best points, versus like all these other squads out there. Man.
MetaGoons announcing a partnership with Undead Blocks, by the way.
Hey, is this like the first time you're saying that?
Yeah, this is the first time I'm saying it. I hope Grant doesn't kill me for saying that.
It's all good.
Love
keeping it in the family.
We need to get like an effects board so we can.
I know. I need to. Again, I have all of my D&D stuff. I got a soundboard ready to go for anything. I just got to figure out the right way to do it with StreamYard. Maybe YouTube Live will have more functionality for me. So we'll see. We'll see.
One thing I want to mention, because you and I have talked about this privately, but I think it's so important, is there's no Web3 gaming aggregator, right? It's like people have to know, like we are like, Ryan, I'd say we have an affinity for Web3 gaming, but we are not even close to experts. And it takes a while for us. We have to ask a lot of people, like, what is actually good? What's out there? And so I think that the if there becomes a very clear, trusted source for these are some good games and projects, here's how you get involved, that's going to help a lot of folks. Like, just it needs to be like web3gaming.com or whatever it is. And people can go there and see what's out there. And so they can see, okay, I love these card games. Okay, I love this, this Exaverse with the kind of like, one-on-one like PvP battle arena, right? And they can find the thing that they enjoy and play it and get set up and share it with their friends. But right now it's very kind of ad hoc. You have to know, you have to be in the Discord, and that's
you have to know that. Yeah, you have to know the alpha of Treeverse. Yeah.
It's in the process though. I'll tell you what. If you have me on here to talk about MetaGoons, we can debunk everything and talk about all of this. I can answer all of these questions because it is definitely happening right now. But
nice.
Okay, MetaGoons might be your gateway to the metaverse. Everyone.
Gateway to the metaverse. You heard it here first. Well, Wizz, one thing that, other than Treeverse, which it sounds like you're very excited about, what's one thing you're excited about? It could be Web3, it could be gaming, it could be life in general.
I am so sometimes it takes me a little to warm up on here, but I'm good. I'm good. I'm feeling the flow state. But I'm super excited for God of War Ragnarok.
Ooh, yeah.
I am going to order some pizza and play that game until I beat it.
Pineapple on pizza?
Ooh. I could do pineapple.
Okay, yeah.
Wait, that's actually a great question, Ryan. Wizz, what besides that game, what game prior have you been playing the most?
Oh yeah.
I've been playing a lot of the Resident Evil series because I love scary games. I love scary games so much.
Oh no, okay.
But a game that I just played a day ago, classic BioShock.
Oh,
the original BioShock.
The original BioShock. I played BioShock for the first time in a very hot room in Thailand.
Are you impressed?
I was very impressed. Terrifying game. Just the way the shadow and light play, it really gets you. All those things sneak up, and then all of a sudden this gigantic mother bear just crashes through a wall, and you're just like, oh my god, that drill is terrifying. But yeah, nice. Nice.
I like it.
Well, cool. Well, Wizz, thanks for coming on today. We really appreciate it. Next week, we are going to be on with Big Time. I promise you I'll figure out YouTube between now and then. I think right now we're talking with the Crypto Unicorns folks. They are doing a pretty big unveil. They unveiled it to their Discord today, but they will be doing the first public unveil with us on Playconomy. It'll be on Monday, I think 9:30 a.m. We shall see. But set your calendars. We get 2 Playconomies in 1 week next week. It'll be a fun time. Other than that, any parting wisdom, Wiz?
Stay hydrated. It's hot outside.
It is hot out there.
Thank you for having me, Becca, Ryan. I appreciate it. Next time, we'll chop up some more MetaGoons. But yeah,
deep diving.
This was
for
fun.
Sure. All right. Well, thanks everyone. It's been real.
Cheers.
Bye.